Hello and welcome back to another out of spec detailing video. You join me in our personal Volkswagen ID.4. We've had this car for about 3 weeks now and it's already filthy. So we're going to be talking about cleaning interior floor mats. We all know the winter time here in Colorado can be full of salt, snow, road grime, everything on the outside, but it also comes in inside on your all-weather floor mats. So today I'm going to show you how to clean those, properly maintain them, and some things to think about while you're doing that. Let's jump into it. And this is our brand new 2023 Volkswagen ID.4, already filthy, and this is coming in for just a little bit of a maintenance detail. I hopped in it this morning after my wife got home from work and I went, yikes, we got to clean this up. This is absolutely disgusting. Hard to believe this is only 3 weeks of dirt and grime. This is our family dog hauler. She takes the dogs in the back, takes them to the park. So this is all some dirt and grime. This does not only apply in the winter time, but summertime too, if you're on trails in the Colorado mountains. But let's get these cleaned up. Look at the salt already forming around here, just everywhere. First order of business, let's pull these bad boys out. An important thing to note, you don't want to dump all of the dirt and grime out all over your carpets. Let's try and keep these clean. So when you're popping these out, just be careful of it. Look at the salt in here. Just insane how much crud is on these mats already. So a big thing you may want to do, dump out all that dirt as we go. That'll just go down the floor drain. So you guys can do this at a car wash too, and you'll see an easy couple of products you can take with you. Keep them in your trunk. Go to a car wash to do this if you don't have a beautiful indoor space like we have here at Clear Detailing. First order of business, now that we've got all the big debris kind of tossed out, thrown out, is to start getting these cleaned up. What I like to use is something like an all-purpose cleaner. There are companies out there that make specific mat cleaners. They can be quite expensive, but I really like using this. And actually inside this bottle, this is a Geon bottle, but Simple Green. Simple Green has been a product that I have not used for a long time and just recently bought a bottle or two in big bulk quantities and just started using it. And I absolutely love this stuff because you guys can find it anywhere, Home Depot, Lowe's, pretty much everywhere. So first off, what we're gonna do, come in here, spray this down. You guys want to make sure that you're putting a liberal amount of product on here, making sure it's getting in there, eating all of that dirt and grime away. So you can already see turning these mats nice and clean so far, but we've got to get all this dirt dislodged. So I'm going to let this sit for a while. We're going to come in here with a few brushes. So say you're going to a car wash, they've got one of those wall mounted systems where you can put your mats, pop those up there, take a bottle of Simple Green with you, spray these things down on the wall, let them sit and dwell for a little bit. We're gonna get out a few little brushes just to make sure we get into all these nooks and crannies. You're gonna pressure wash them off, and it's pretty much as easy as that. So we've let this sit for a little bit and let the cleaner agitate and get in there. Now there's two brushes you can carry with you. Something like this, a lug nut brush. That's good for getting into tight little spaces like this. Also something like this, a little bit bigger area, to make it a lot easier to clean. Now I'm cleaning this on the floor just because I don't have those attachments like they have at the car washes, but this is pretty much the same straightforward way to do it. All you're gonna do here now that the cleaner's set is come in here and start agitating. Look at the buildup of this dirt and grime already. Really starting to lift that very, very easily. I'm not scrubbing this super hard, just coming in here, agitating it. A big thing with cleaners, guys, is you need to make sure that you're letting them dwell enough to make sure it's getting in there, taking that dirt away, and then agitating it. If you just spray something on here or just try and rinse this off with a pressure washer, likelihood it's gonna do okay, but all of these little nooks and crannies are just gonna hold all that dirt and grime. So that's why getting in there, agitating it is really the way to go. So here we are, we've got a nice lather on this. You can already see how disgusting those were. Really, really grimy. Tons of dirt in there, salt, all the grime that you bring in from going into grocery stores, walking out into the street, whatever it is. Now, this process works for all weather mats. And that's why I really like using something like an all-purpose cleaner. It's gentle, you can dilute it differently. If they're not super filthy, you can make it more economical and really lower the dilution ratio. I typically use Simple Green 50/50, and I find that it's a very good cleaner. In my personal opinion, you absolutely do not need to spend money on specific mat cleaner. I think a lot of what happens is people rebrand those as all-purpose cleaners, and they're selling you an extra product. So stick with something simple. If you have an all-purpose cleaner that you love to use it. The big important thing with all-purpose cleaners is not letting them dry. So I let this dwell for about 2 or 3 minutes, went in there and scrubbed it, maybe a total of 5 minutes. Now we're gonna rinse it down. So next step is to just throw your absolutely soaking wet floor mats back in your car, right? No, absolutely not. So a few more things you need here. I would bring back your little all-purpose cleaner bottle here, spray just a little bit on here. And all you're gonna do is come in with a fresh towel and just dry it. Now this is pretty simple. Again, if you're at a car wash, take these mats, they're held up for you, just come in and wipe them down. This is an important step because you're also going to trap a little bit of dirt in the towel, anything that you may have missed while scrubbing it, but you're also not putting these things in soaking wet. There's nothing worse, and it can cause a lot of smell, and people, I've seen this a lot, they take their floor mats out, throw them in there. Where do you think all that water goes? Especially underneath, it's soaking wet under here. They sit in the carpet, they can mold, they can mildew, they can get really, really disgusting. So this is an important step to make sure you're not missing. So far, if you're looking for it, a few tools you need. All-purpose cleaner, a couple brushes, one towel. You're gonna get all of these knocked out super quick. Now, very important here, again, to flip this over and make sure that we're getting the backside. Hopefully you guys can see this, but soaking wet on the bottom. Do not want to throw that in the car like that. Just not a good case. Just make sure you're wiping this down, and already not picking up a ton because we did good cleaning these, but still catching all of that water nonetheless. So now that we've got this towel dried, we are ready to go back in the car. Now I want to quickly talk about anything that people often like to put on here, like a rubber restorer or something like that. Please do not use those on floor mats. Why? Well, what happens is typically guys will clean these up and they'll make it look super shiny. They'll put all this crap all over it, and then where does that go? Well, it gets on the bottom of your feet, it touches the brake pedal, it touches the throttle. Now all of a sudden, maybe you go to slow down quickly and your foot slips off. I've seen it happen, and it's not something I like to deal with. So I'm also gonna show you how to quickly just clean off your pedals, because I'm sure they're as nasty as this. But please do not put anything on your floor mats. That's a huge, huge deal. Really don't wanna risk anybody's life by trying to make these look super shiny and nasty. These are not supposed to look like that. They're supposed to look nice and matte or satin look, and just be clean. So a simple process like all-purpose cleaner, wiping them down with a towel, they are good to go. Now, we've got all of this dirt and grime. It's pretty incredible actually to see how much gets in between those cracks and crevices all down here. So you wanna make sure you're vacuuming this up. I will do that before I put the mats back in, but just in this case, we're just focusing on mats and surrounding areas. So we're gonna take that same exact towel we had. Now, if your pedals are absolutely filthy and caked and stuff, and maybe they have little slits in them, you can also grab that lug nut brush. What you're gonna do, come in here, spray a little bit of all-purpose cleaner. Don't go crazy with it. You can come in here, agitate that. These aren't so dirty, so all I'm gonna do is wipe it down. And again, this is just Simple Green here. Now you can also do surrounding areas like this if they're really, really filthy. Simple green is safe on areas like this. You don't want to go crazy. You don't want to be putting it on seats and areas like that. But areas that get pretty filthy, you can definitely do that. So I just sprayed a little here on the towel. Just going to quickly wipe this down, and you are good to go. Now I'm going to quickly off camera get this vacuumed up, get this cleaned up a little bit after I vacuum it, but other than that, you are ready to put your floor mats back in. Look how much better this mat already looks. That is literally just cleaning them with an all-purpose cleaner, hand drying it. Looks spectacular. So this is now ready to pop back in the car. Well, that wraps up this video on cleaning interior floor mats, especially in the wintertime. This is the same practice you can use all year round. If you're big into going up in the mountains, getting filthy and dirty, this same process applies. If you have access to do this at home, just be sure to do it once every couple of weeks. In the wintertime, you're definitely going to be doing it more often. Now, I'm going to have a full series on cleaning vehicles in the winter coming up shortly. We're going to talk about, how to maintain a ceramic coated car, how you can clean these vehicles in the wintertime if you don't have access at home to washing them. There's a lot of things we're going to dive deep into, so stay tuned on this channel, because kind of the funny thing is, really, when you think about it, you need to be washing your car more often in the wintertime than you do in the summer, and it can be very tricky to do so. So hopefully this small tip on how to clean your interior floor mats was helpful to you guys. Anything else you would like to see me make videos on, please leave a comment below or send us an email. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for joining us on another out of spec detailing video. Bye-bye.